With the Guide of Board of Engineer Malaysia Code of Ethics Registered Engineer Associate and Occupational Safety and Health Administrations, a discussion on whether or not a professional engineer in electrical engineering should be allowed to practice as consultant and as contractor at the same time, as these two fields relate to each other, and by the guideline of BEM, REA and OSHA, our opinion on this statement is should be allowed, as there is no opposed to it. The purpose for supporting this statement is to improve overall competency, challenge, inspire engineers in their work and expand network with more individuals. Problem statement of this study case is, thus a professional engineer in electrical engineering should be allowed to practice as consultant and as contractor at the same time. It will be further discussed in the discussions part. Objectives of this technical essay is to identify the issue and relate it with the guide of REA, OSHA, and BEM. Other than that, to be able to write the technical essay based on the code of ethics in the case study given in another objective. The last objective is to reasoning the statement of agreement on the professional engineer in electrical engineering should be allowed to practice as consultant and contractor at the same time.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohammad Aiman bin Mohammad Zain. Today I will be presenting on the discussion. For the discussion, we have been tasked to review on the case of does a professional engineer in electrical engineering should be allowed to practice as consultants and as contractor at the same time. This case raised some significant concerns, primarily in terms of conflicts of interest. The conflict of interest is a situation where someone serves multiple interests and may act in the best interest of one while jeopardizing others. As an example, on the BER case of 85-2 that we'll be presenting after this, demonstrates that it would be unethical for an engineer to seek work while participating in the choosing process. This behavior breached both Code 24D and Code 24E. This can diminish a person's professional or judicial reputation. From the Institution of Engineers Malaysia (IEM), items 27, 33 and 36 are designed to protect the engineer from getting into a position of conflicting interest. And next, we use the Registration of Engineers Regulation 1990 amendments up to 2015, where we use the Regulation 32, which a professional engineer in private practice cannot be contractor at the same time as a consultant. And that's it for my part. Thank you.
Salam sejahtera and have a good day. My name is Addsuwan A. Plen. Today I will explain about example of board ethical review case 94-3, which related to conflict of interest, which is engineering consultant serving as the equipment manufacturing sales representative. For the fact, engineer A is a principal in a consulting engineering firm who also work as a sales representative for a manufacturer of equipment. When preparing specification for the design and construction of manufacturing facility, engineer A usually always without exception specify the equipment and product developed by the manufacturer which engineer A represent. So for the discussion, engineer A is working as an equipment manufacturing sales representative and probably receives commission in his capacity, while also claiming to be an independent consultant who will act as an agent to represent his client's best interest. This dual role is completely incompatible with the Code of Ethics, which is Code 1.4 and Code 2.4.8. It obviously raises the undeniable fact of an exchange of value consideration in exchange for specifying a product. In conclusion, it was unethical for an engineer A to serve as an equipment manufacturing sales representative at the same time when he is practicing as a consultant. That's all from me. Thanks for watching.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I am gonna continue with the ethical review cases. So for case of 85-2 conflict of interest, engineer serving on private hospital board and also performing engineering services. So engineer A is a principal in a local engineering firm, but he is also a member of in a board of directors of a hospital. So in a situation, the hospital need to do some engineering work, and so they decided to choose engineer A firm in a meeting to conduct the engineering work. So engineer A is involved in the process of choosing his own engineering firm to do the engineering work at the hospital. So for discussion, engineer A violated a few code by participating in the hospital decision to hire his firm. Engineer A acted unethically by attempting to influence the board's decision in his favor. So by doing this, engineer A violated code 24D and 24E. So in conclusion, engineer A is unethical to seek a contract with the private healthcare provider to provide engineering services. Thank you.
My name is Mohammad Aidiel bin Muhammad Ariff. Today I'm gonna present about the conclusion. So based on the case study, there are several code of conduct and regulation that are being assigned during this case study. So based on the case study, it can state that from the regulation 32, it shows that restriction on being a director, member or shareholder of the contracting and manufacturing company. And then furthermore, for the next regulation, which is regulation 31, it shows that a registered engineer or an ECP is not intervene or to take over the work of another job. Engineer should be professional by taking responsibility and maintaining the reputation of the engineering profession. Engineer also strictly observe those code of ethics because the engineering professional perform an important position in growing a country. As a result, from this case study, engineer cannot be a contractor at the same time unless the consultant instructed by the employer. That's all from me. Thank you.